Let's get it. Yo, shout out to everybody here in the building. I definitely appreciate every one of you guys. Wipe them feet, meaning hit them thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel. If you have not subscribed yet, you already know what time it is. I see my boy James in the building. Morris, Gio, Jay, man, everybody, man, in here. Fanatic, Raiders God, what is good, King? We are here to talk that shit tonight. You already know what time it is. I'm gonna let everybody pile in real fast. You already know what it is. Shout out to my brother, man. Hold on real quick. Let me see. I haven't seen my brother, man. Gutter Fisher, man. Shout out to Yuba City Docs. Much love, brother. You already know, King. Sacramento's in the building. Raiders God, what's good with you, my bro? Yeah, man. We lit, man. We lit. King Gibby wiped them feet, and the Kings start in 15 minutes. We about to get them Hawks up out of here, man. A lot to unpack tonight, you guys. I mean, you know, you guys see the thumbnail. You know what time it is. I mean, whoever really questioned this. I mean, I know I didn't. I look, it just didn't make any sense at all in terms of Davante Adams moving on or following Carr wherever he goes. It really didn't make any sense. And today, you know, shout out to Hondo Carpenter. Definitely asked a great question today to Davante Adams. And, you know, he asked him, like, you know, with everything going on right now and blase blah, I'm not going to do it word, you know, verbatim. But do you want to be a Raider next year? You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. You know what I mean? And Davante was just like, look, man, this is my dream. This is the dream scenario, my dream destination, the team I grew up loving. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? He said he wanted to be a Raider before DC was even a Raider. You know what I mean? So there really was never a question in my mind that Davante was going to move on. I think that he believes in what this coaching staff is doing moving forward. And let's just be honest, you guys. Let's just be real. Like, I don't think Davante, you know, would put too much into this. But honestly, and shout out to RS, I appreciate you. That means a lot. There was a lot of YouTube channels on here, and I definitely appreciate you for those kind words, my brother. I have to say, this is the team he grew up, right? I mean, grew up loving, the team he grew up idolizing. Tim Brown, his favorite, you know, wide receiver of all time. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, C. Wood. We all know him wearing C. Wood's jersey in elementary and blase blah, growing up in EPA. But look, this is the team he grew up loving, right? Could you imagine the kind of black eye that would leave on his reputation as a Raider if he just came in for one season and just left because DC left? You know what I'm saying? It never made any sense to me in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, his family is comfortable. He has a lump sum of money. He is one of the highest paid wide receivers in the league. It just doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? It really don't. It really don't. Sack Kings, Stiddy Committee. Yes, show me them stiddies, man. Show me them stiddies, man. Shout out to Mateo, man. Appreciate you, brother. Let me see. Y'all crazy, man. Shout out to the chat. Y'all wild. Wipe them feet. Hit them thumbs up. Let me see. McDaniels will cut, trade. I don't agree with that, Glenn. I don't agree with that at all, brother. Shout out to Ben Bad, man. Shout out to Jenga Lane. Y'all are crazy, man. Why would, yeah, look, you know, I'm not the one. I don't want to try to create hostility. You know, look, you guys know me, right? I was very, very adamant about the QB position, right? About moving on. I'm not going to hide from that. I've been wanting to do that for many years now. I'm not going to stir away from that. You know what I'm saying? Good luck to him in the near future. I hope that he, does everything he sets himself out to do. But I have to say this, man. At the end of the day, Davante Adams, whether our former quarterback is here or not, Davante is here to stay. Simple and plain, y'all. He's not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DM, man. You think the Carr family, the Walmart Mannings, will be upset by this? Darren is punching air right now. I wouldn't know because Darren blocked me on Twitter. So it is what it is. And like I said, you guys, I don't want to, talk too much about the Carr family. I hate it. You know what I'm saying? I know you guys want to talk about it because it's the thing that's going on in the nation right now. All I'm going to say is this, right? About that situation. I seen that his brothers, right, were screaming about stability, right? Keyword. Stay with me, y'all. Stability, right? He wants to go to another organization that has stability between the head coach and the organization. Let me say this. If you wanted stability, why didn't you ask to be traded before this? There were years prior where we were even more dysfunctional. So it seems as though he's trying to hide from his embarrassment and turn this into a thing now where he gets a chance to go to a better and stable organization. If that was the case, you should have asked for a trade way before this. You're embarrassed, and I get it. You got benched, 15 games in. I understand that. It's a tough pill to swallow. Look, that'll take your pride. It'll kill your ego a little bit, especially as a 9-year vet, that pretty much got everything around him. But if you want stability, if the key word was stability, you should have been asked for a trade a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Like because we all know our organization in prior years has been very dysfunctional. You know what I mean? So I think if it had anything to do with just that, it's like, come on, man. Like that, you can't use that word stable. If that was true, you could have been going quicker. And now reports are coming out now that, with Vinny B and some of that stuff I take with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? But Albert Beer, they're talking about, this regime was done with him in pretty much week 2 or week 3. Right? Don't quote me on that, but I didn't really read the entire article because like I said before, you guys, I'm kind of clocked out of this shit. Like real talk. I'm so clocked out of this whole Carr debacle and this whole Carr shit. I'm just ready to move on. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm pro Stidham right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's who I'm rocking with. Stiddy is the guy until he's not. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to move on from it. But I just find this shit funny, man. I really do. That it's like you're trying to save the embarrassment. So now it's a stability thing. If it was stability, you should have asked to be moved a long time ago. Shout out to DM once again. Shout out to my boy Joe Nation. Tay ain't going nowhere. Raiders said he'll be in the loop about the QB they're going to bring in. The hat is fire. My brother, I appreciate you, King. Appreciate you. That card heart joint. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, man. I mean, look, you got the best wide receiver in the game. Why wouldn't Josh McDaniels and David Ziegler bring you in and consult with you about who you're going to bring in? I mean, I think the plan is already in motion, you guys. You know what I'm saying? I think that, Stiddy was a perfect fallback plan for the last 2 weeks, right? I hope he balls out against the Chiefs this Saturday. And maybe, just maybe, he does become the guy next season, right? But I think that everything is pointing towards, if Tom Brady comes back, he's going to be a Raider. Gronk's going to come out of retirement. It just looks as though they're trying to bring the band back together and end Tom Brady's illustrious career on a high note. You know what I'm saying? And why not do it bringing the home team back together and doing it, you know what I'm saying, with each other? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be real. These guys have a lot of success together. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the plan. Me personally, I hope Stiddy balls out against Kansas City and maybe, next season gets more preseason burn, just like he did this season, and balls out. Maybe wins. I don't know if he wins QB1, but I'm going to say this. Josh McDaniels knows that next season is it. He has a 2-year leash. And if he doesn't make some type of power move to keep his wide receiver happy, to keep, to keep the GM, not the GM, but keep the owner happy, it's a power move. You go out and get Tom Brady, even if you bring Stiddy back on a cheap, inexpensive contract under him. Could y'all understand that you guys we can go get Tom Brady and Stiddy and still probably save about $10 million instead of paying our former quarterback? Think about that. We can probably pay Brady and Stiddy and save money. What's the problem? Mex, man, I appreciate you. Look, man, I'm not going to be out here trying to showboat, you know what I'm saying? Hit the Heisman on motherfuckers and shit, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to say this, man, at the end of the day, it just made no sense. It made no sense. Anybody that was freaking out about Davante Adams wanting to get traded and move on, to me, it was like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, it made no sense to me. It made no sense at all. None. I don't care if your best friend, you know what I'm saying, was cut, benched, traded, blah, blah, blah. That means nothing. This is a business. This is the team he grew up loving. His family moved from Green Bay because of the weather to be closer to home. It just makes no sense. You know what I mean? And no one's going to move their kids around year after year to go follow another man. That just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. It really doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Shout out to everybody here in the building, man. Stupid. He said, nah, Docs. Oh, shit. Been bad. This is facts. Accepted the 1-year prove-it deal, and you bet on yourself and you crapped out. Ain't nothing wrong with that, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, a lot of people bet on themselves and crap out. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people that quit their jobs, started a business, shit the bed, and got right back into the workforce because it didn't work out. It happens. It happens. So I'm not going to hold, you know what I mean? I don't want to beat him up about what happened, but he definitely did bet on himself. And whoever his agent is, you got to be a lot more smarter than that, man, because I'm going to be real. Like, there should have been way more, protections in that contract with DC in terms of the Raiders. You know what I mean? I don't really know what they were thinking, but hey, it is what it is. We're moving on. Jarrett Stidham is our quarterback until he's not. Shout out to my brother Leon, man. Compton is in the building. It's like when the girl after a breakup says, I didn't like you anyway. Yet Carr said if he couldn't be a Raider, he'd retire. So what is David saying? This sort of, man, look. It is what it is, bro. It is what it is, bro. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? If anything, man, shout out to DC for helping us behind the scenes, make some moves around, you know what I mean? Use his personal relationship to bring Davante Adams in. I definitely, truly believe that Derek Carr was pulling strings behind the scenes to get Davante to come to Vegas. DC heard all the rumblings of, he needs a true number one wide receiver and blah, blah, blah. So why not work behind the scenes with your GM, with your head coach, with your best friend, and try and bring him in? And I said this, you guys, a week ago, that when Davante said, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him, I think he genuinely meant that by saying, like, I wouldn't have been here. These guys were working behind the scenes, around the clock to get me out here, to pull these strings to get me traded out here. So when he said that, yes, it's a reason that, DC is a reason that he's here. He's one of the reasons, one of the plethora that, of reasons. But the thing is, he pulls some strings behind the scenes to make it happen. So when he says, I'm here because, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him, he's probably telling the truth. Real shit. Real talk. Shout out to Junior, man. Docs, what do you think of Levis? Man, I love Levis. I love Will Levis. I know a lot of people do not like him out of Kentucky. That is my guy. I would not be shocked if we took a quarterback, early, but I wouldn't be shocked if we didn't either. But if we do take a QB and Stroud is off the board and Bryce Young, which I think they'll both be off the board, I have nothing against going out and get Will Levis, man. I know a lot of people think that mentally he needs to, look, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time, but this is the situation where he can come and sit for a while and get his shit together. I think that Will Levis is an athletic Ben Roethlisberger. That's what I think. I think that Will Levis is a more athletic Ben Roethlisberger, a guy that can QB sneak and get you 7 to 10 yards if need be. You know what I'm saying? Like, big body, has a huge arm. You know what I mean? It's just going to take some time. Every problem that he has is mental. It's mental mistakes. It's between the ears. And I think the right coaching staff can bring that, can bring greatness out of him. I like Anthony Richardson as well out of Florida, but I wouldn't go in the first round at all. Me personally, no. In a perfect world, you get Jalen Carter. Somewhere around that, 6 to 8, 6 to 9, wherever we are. If somehow, some way we fall down to 6, I think that's as low as we can go, right? I'm hoping Jalen Carter falls down the board. You know what I'm saying? I think that is my dream scenario. You know what I mean? But if not, you go get Hendon Hooker in the middle rounds. torn ACL, sit him down, let him just study the playbook left and right. That's what I'm doing. Go get a guy in the middle rounds. Let me see. Shout out to everybody here in the building. Let me get the sex bots out the building. I see him. Hammer must be lurking around somewhere. Shout out to my brother Hammer. Shout out to Leo. Trade Carr to Washington for Terry McLaurin. That's not going to happen, Leo. If anything, bro, you can't pay Davante Adams, Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs, Hunter Renfrow, and Terry McLaurin. This ain't mad at my brother, but I look, I would do that definitely. But the thing is this, man. If you go trade for Derek Carr, you're bringing him in for Terry McLaurin. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not trading for Derek Carr to trade away your best wide receiver. That would never happen. You know what I'm saying? So, but that is an option that you can keep an eye on. Del Rio's over there, the defensive coordinator. I know their head coach has been catching flack year after year about not being able to replace, or come in with a quarterback that can get it done. So, maybe Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera, jumps out and says, you know what? Hey, we'll give you a first, a second, or whatever the hell it happens. And it does. I can definitely see the Commanders being one of those teams in for the sweepstakes for DC. It's Tampa, it's Indy, it's the Jets. You know what I mean? It could be Pittsburgh. That could be a sneaky team, even though I do think they're going to go with their young pup. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of teams out there that can definitely go out there and get him. Miami would probably be a dream scenario for him with all those weapons that they have on the outside. You know what I mean? So, but hey, at the end of the day, I don't really care where he goes. Just give me draft capital. I don't really care where he goes. You know what I mean? At this point, you guys, Carr gets to pick where he's going, right? I repeat, he gets to pick where he's going. So if he goes anywhere and fails, I don't want to hear any more excuses, even though it don't matter to me because he's not a Raider anymore. But he gets to pick where he's going. So if he goes somewhere and succeeds, more power to you. If you don't, well, hey, you chose where you were going, brother. That no trade clause is a motherfucker. You know what I mean? It could be a gift and a curse. Send me over there, and then you shit the bed. But hey, like I said before, that is not our problem anymore. I just want to get whatever we can for DC. Even if we have to cut him, I don't want to cut him. I would love to get some type of draft capital, even if it's a third or fourth rounder. I don't care. If you can get something, get something. But we'll see. I think the deadline is February 15th, somewhere around there. So we have to figure out how we're going to do this. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to David. We need a few of them, David. We need a few of them, my brother, for real. We need a couple stud linebackers. At this point, we don't have any of them. We don't really have any. We don't have any. We got, you know what I'm saying, UDFAs. That's really what we have right now. And Denzel Perryman, he's a free agent. So are we going to bring him back? Divine Diablo will be coming back soon too. You know what I'm saying? But we need linebackers desperately. I am hoping and praying that we go get 2 or 3 of them motherfuckers in the draft, man. We need help desperately in the middle of our defense. That is one weakness that it seems like teams continue to exploit week in and week out. We got to get the middle of our defense together. You know what I'm saying? And we need that stout defensive tackle. I want to bring Andrew Billings back. He had a hell of a year for us, but we need another DT next to Andrew Billings that can actually, rush the passer, you know what I'm saying, play the run too. We need an all-around DT, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we need some help on the defensive side of the ball. But that's what I keep saying, you guys, with all this money freed up, we have so many different chances of going out and building this defense in one offseason. So just stay tuned. There's going to be some great things happening this offseason. I'm telling y'all now, this offseason is probably going to be one of the most craziest Raider offseason. We thought this last offseason going to get Davante Adams and Chandler Jones. Watch this upcoming offseason. It's going to be insane. Watch. Mark my words. Clip this. Save this shit. Put it away and bring it out. If I'm wrong, look. I'm telling you. It's going to be crazy. Let me see. Yes, Renee, seen that clip from the Pat McAfee show where he mentioned Brady. Yes, I seen that. So what happened was, you guys, if you didn't see this, go check out Pat McAfee's show. He had Ian Rappaport on today. And basically, Pat McAfee said to him, he said, so Tom Brady's going to be a Raider, right? And Ian Rappaport really just started like stuttering. He was stuttering and he kind of made a face like, how do you know that? Like it sound. He said the Raiders are definitely an option. That's kind of how he said. He said there's a few, but the Raiders are definitely an option. But he stuttered, and it sounds as though that is the plan behind the scenes, is to bring one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I think the greatest quarterback of all time in to be a Raider in his career with us. But yeah, if you guys didn't get a chance to go check out Pat McAfee's show, he did have Ian Rappaport. The way McAfee, I don't know how to say his last name, but I'm telling you right now, the way Ian Rappaport responded, he was kind of like, what do you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, it seemed as though it seems like that's what's going on. And even Vinny, you know, he alluded to it, basically saying that that's our number one, you know, basically our number one QB on the big board in free agency for us. Then it goes Jimmy G and blah, blah, right? So, but we shall see soon. Shout out to Black Sunday. If you were Tay, who would you say you want as your QB to Ziegler and Davis? Shout out to Hendricks, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Wipe them feet, hit them thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button. We're almost to 17.4. I appreciate you guys trying to get to that 18,000 mark. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Sultan, I see you in the building as well, King. Shout out to my dog. I'm going to say this. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're Tay, right, there's two names that he's probably looking at. One of them is a long shot, and that's Aaron Rodgers. That's not going to happen. So much money on, on his contract, and Aaron Rodgers isn't one of those guys that's going to take less money to come over here and play for the Raiders. He's just not like that, and I'm not mad at him. It's a business. He got a ring. At the end of the day, he's like, look, I'm going to be gone here in a couple of years. I need all my shillings. I ain't mad at him, but that's a pipe dream. But what Josh is saying is probably saying, Davante, sit pat, man. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to go get the greatest quarterback of all time, and we're going to run this shit back next year, and we're going to be playing in the Super Bowl at Allegiant Stadium. That's what the fuck is going to happen, man. That's what's going to happen, Black Sunday. And if he retires, then you move on to the next best thing, right? In which it's nowhere near Tom Brady. I wouldn't be mad about bringing in Stidham again and have him fight. Go get Jimmy G for the cheap. He's coming off a torn ACL. Have him and Stidham battle for the number one spot and go draft one in the middle rounds. Not against that. Jimmy G will be inexpensive, you guys, because he's coming off that torn ACL. And why not? This is the thing, right? If Jimmy G wants to show that he can stay healthy and wants to get a long-term contract somewhere, his best bet is to go somewhere where he already knows the system, right? He already knows the system. So if he has a one-year deal with us to come in and battle it out and he wins the job and he just goes out and just destroys the NFL next season, which I'd be fucking shocked if he did, but he knows the system. So if Jimmy G's going to bet on himself again next year and take a one-year deal, why not do it with a team that you already know the system? You can go out there and do your thing, and then you can go pick up another 3-4 year deal somewhere else. I don't know if that would happen, but it is what it is. Let me see. Shout out to everybody here in the building, man. Yes, I definitely shout out to Curtis. Do you think Gronk comes out of retirement? There's already been reports and a lot of speculation, Curtis, that Gronk is actually sitting back waiting to see what Brady is going to do. So I can definitely see Gronk coming out of retirement and returning, because the plan was, you guys know this, last year, the plan was for him and Gronk to go to Vegas, but John Gruden nipped that shit in the bud. And he ran with DC, and whatever happened. I mean, hey, we went to the playoffs. We snuck in, we lost on the last second play, but hey, John Gruden went out the way he wanted to go out. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. Maybe Gru is one of those type of guys too that definitely holds grudges. So, he's probably looking back at that Tuck rule and all that shit and saying, I don't want nothing to do with Tom Brady, which, just like that's how a lot of people in the nation feel. That's how I felt my whole life up till this point, right? I've always thought, I don't want nobody from the Tuck rule to come in and try to turn this franchise around. I think Gru had the same effect. Like, bro, I'm not bringing him in. Well, right now, you guys, I am desperate. I want to win a championship. And if 98-year-old Tom Brady can come in and get that for us, I'm cool. And if he brings Gronk with him and Waller, you can't guard that. With Davante and Hunter Renfrow, how do you guard that? And then you bring Josh Jacobs back. I don't know if you guys know, but they're saying, even Vinny's report, they're saying that it's a well-known fact that we're bringing back Josh Jacobs. After 1,600 rushing yards this season, he's leading the league in rushing. We're bringing him back. So whether and even Vinny said, whether that is through the franchise tag or just, giving him a 3-4 year deal, I'm cool with that. Either way, we are bringing Josh Jacobs back. So there you have it. There you have it. Shout out to Sultan, man. How does DC's contract affect the 3-day window? Do we take his contract on if we trade him? Because I heard you can't trade till March. So if the team doesn't take on a contract, do we have to pay him? So what I'm hearing is, Sultan, I'm a little confused by this shit too, bro. What I'm hearing is that we'd have to come up with an agreement, right, with Carr and with another team to take on that contract until we're able to trade him. That's what I'm hearing. If anybody knows anything different, please let me know in the comment section. But what I'm hearing is we either cut him by that date or you come up with an agreement with him and another team that will take on that contract. And then whenever that day comes, you know, the trade deadline hits or whatever, we can actually unload that contract. That's what I'm hearing. So we shall see. You know what I mean? So, but really good question, my brother. I've seen a lot of different explanations, but people are kind of all over the place with it. So I'm still kind of up in arms with it. You know what I mean? Shout out to my dog Sultan on the donation. I appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Black Sunday. You think Josh takes less? He said he already has money. Look, man, that sounds good. But as a running back, Black Sunday, you never want to take less money. Ever. Ever. You have a short, it's just a short shelf life. You know what I'm saying? There's only so many years as a running back that you can stay effective in this league. You know, everybody's not Frank Gore. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not Frank Gore. You know what I mean? Let's just keep it a buck, man. Josh Jacobs would be blessed to get another 3-4 years in. Blessed. That would be a long career for a running back. 4 to 8 years. That's great. So if I'm Josh, in which, you know, I hope he does help us a little bit, right? But he's going to get he's going to want to get the most money he can, because at the end of the day, short shelf life as a running back, he needs his bag. And Josh definitely earned it this year. He definitely shut me the fuck up, because I thought that this regime was clearly moving on from him because of all the, you know, movement that we did at the running back position in the draft and in free agency. But Josh earned every cent. I will take back everything I said about this regime, probably moving on from him. I hope that they give this guy a nice little deal. And yeah, I mean, but running backs need all their bread. They need all their bread. You know what I mean? So Josh, get that money, man. Get that money. Let me see. There we go. February 15th, his money is guaranteed. They can make an agreement. Yep, exactly. But if Carr's on a new team, backs out, we are all on the hook for that 40.5 if no one else signs him. And that's why there's a very good chance, Casper, that we could just cut him. We can just outright cut him. Because look, the way his family's being so petty on the internet with the whole 49ers shit and the whole stable shit and all that shit, can you trust? In which, you know what? I don't see Derek Carr as being a guy that would just do some back out shit like that. What is he gonna do? Just sit out? You know what I mean? Next, I don't see that. I don't see that. But as a business, you have to protect yourself. That's why maybe, just maybe, we may have to cut him. But either way, I'm cool. I want the money. I would rather have the salary cap space. I do want draft capital if possible. But if we can't get it, just outright cut him. If you feel like you can't trust DC to move on and move forward, then hey, it is what it is. Go ahead and cut him. Van City, I did not see what you posted, brother. Let me look real quick. Docs, I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy that may be able to convince both Lavonte David and Devin White to come over to the silver and black quite easily. Just saying. And I'll tell you this. One of those guys is up there in age. I think Lavonte David is about 33, right? 34 years old. I think he would take a team-friendly deal anyway to follow the GOAT. I would love to get both of those guys, to be honest, if we could, but I don't know if you're going to spend heavy. You're going to have to spend some type of money in free agency for a linebacker. Point blank, period, the end. You don't want to rely on all rookies or UDFAs in their second year. You don't want to rely on a Luke Masterson and a Darian Butler or a Divine Diablo coming in on his third year next season. You just can't do that. If I'm the Raiders, I'm spending heavy on a DT and a linebacker, and then you go draft some other parts around it and a corner. Focus on the corner position, a linebacker, and a DT. You know what I mean? But either way, you still have to draft at all three of those positions anyway. You know what I mean? So defense heavy in free agency. Go get defenders galore, and maybe, just maybe, you go get a tackle. Maybe you get a guard. I don't know what we're going to do in terms of that O-line. I know we're going to do some shape shift and move around a little bit. But you have to beat up the defense in free agency. You have to go get some more bodies, man, because what we have right now, it's not going to get it done. Let me see. But Jay Lewis, we see this every year though, right, brother? Like you expect Devin White to be this great guy in coverage. Like look, you know what? I don't even want to go there because there's a guy's name, right? I don't want to bring him up. I don't want to bring his name up, but you know, I mentioned him in Soul Nation. You know, we cut him last year. Supposed to be one of the best cover linebackers in the league. Shit the bed. Then went to Carolina this offseason and actually did really good for them. And then there's another guy that we went and got from Tennessee in free agency that was supposed to be this cover linebacker that came in and shit the bed. So, you know, hey, man, you never know. Devin White may come into this system with Patrick Graham and it may work. And I don't want to say that name, John Cena. You know I know. I said his name in the record. You know what I'm saying? So, but all I'm saying is sometimes people need new environments, different systems, work for different people. You never know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not expecting Devin White to be the best dude in coverage in the world. That's just not his game. But he's still a really good linebacker. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. He's definitely nice, CB. Definitely. He's definitely better than anything we got right now. If Devin White was on the Raiders right now, he'd be the best linebacker that we have. Am I wrong? Am I right? Literally be the best. He'd be the best linebacker on this roster right now. So think about it like this. It's an upgrade, right? I mean, it's an upgrade than what we got right now. So it is what it is. Shout to Lorenzo. If we don't get a first and a third for at least for DC, that's going to hurt, to be honest. Lorenzo, I agree with you, brother. I would love to get that kind of draft capital, but we're not probably going to get that. At the end of the day, it's about freeing up that cash flow. It's about freeing up that cash flow. That's all it's about. That is all it's about, getting that money and being able to build this defense up. That is all that it is about. I'm telling you right now, this regime has seen enough. They know what it is. They know they have to build that defense up. They got to get Patrick Graham some bodies. They got to get him some guys that fit what he's trying to do. We knew this defense was not going to be a great defense the beginning of this season. We thought in our heads this offense was going to be the side of the football that was just going to go out there and destroy defenses, and we're going to put up enough points to win games. Nobody, I don't care. I've never seen anybody that spoke highly of this defense that thought that they were going to go out there and win us some games. And they put us in position sometimes this season. There's a few games where they gave us a chance to win some games and we didn't. But next year, it's not going to be like that. Next year, we're going to have a defense out there, you guys, that is going to be able to win us some games. Not put us in a position to win us some games. Next season, we're going to have a defense that can win us some games. So whether it is Stidham or Brady or Jimmy G, just say we can't score, you know what I mean? Just can't score at the end of the game and our defense needs to go out and make a play. I believe that next year we're going to have that defense that's going to have some guys that's going to be able to go out there and make some things happen, man. Simple and plain. Shout out to Lewis, man. Salute, King. Big shout out to you, Docs. Keep talking that shit. My brother, man. I appreciate you, King. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you for the kind words. Oaklosvegas.com. You guys go grab some gear, man. I appreciate everybody that's been going to the website and supporting me, man. It is crazy. I think we're coming up on 800 sales on Oaklosvegas. Y'all, man, are just fucking amazing, man. I appreciate every single one of you guys, whether you buy a mug, a hat, a t-shirt, it is all appreciated, man. So I thank you guys. Let me see. Big Al, yes. Hey, my birthday is in a week and a half, man. So I think I'm gonna get myself some tickets to the Royal Rumble at the end of the month in San Antonio. Me and my sons were just talking about that. Let me see. Bull Shadow says, did you see Jarrett Stiddy's podcast? Nuh-uh. I didn't even know he had a podcast. He has a podcast? Not a fan, Vincent. I'm not a fan, bro. I know a lot of people like Brian Brees out of Clemson, the defensive tackle. I'm not a fan. I'm just really not a fan. I think we could do better than that. I do. I'm not mad at you, though, brother, but I'm not a fan of him. Let me see. Jamal, Brady, Davante, Waller, Gronk, Renfro, Jacobs. Good fucking luck. Dog. Wait, who the fuck is you said Jamal? Fancy, you talking about? Brady, Davante, Waller, Gronk, Renfro, Jacobs. What you mean by that? Shout out to Van City. Shout out to Leon, my dog. Which guys from our last draft do you see making a jump year 2? Oh, you were talking to Jamal. Okay, I was like, what the fuck player are you talking about? Shout out to Van City. I like that question, Leon. I do. And let's go with that. Let's go with that. I think if we bring some of these UDFAs back, I think Luke Masterson may come back. And I think, I think he put a hell of an effort out there, man, his rookie year, man, being a UDFA out of Wake Forest. I hope that he returns. I think that Dylan Parham will continue to build, continue to grow. I think they're going to put some better pieces around him in the offseason. So that's going to make Dylan Parham's game better. I'm going with Dylan Parham, bar none. And let's just say this. Zeus, he can only get better, right? Because he didn't really get a lot of burn. So I'm going to go with Zeus because I believe that, he'll get more reps next season. Look, you can't keep, running Josh down to the ground. Zeus has to be that back that can come in and kind of free up Josh of his duties when need be. I think Zeus is going to have a better year. Other than that, man, I'm hoping, Leon, right? And I'm hoping that it's the young defensive tackles. It's Neil Farrell and Matthew Butler that can really come in and make a difference on this D-line next year. Because, I know, we use a 4th and 5th rounder on them. You think, it's just a 4th, it's just a 5th. But at the end of the day, we still use draft capital. We didn't have a lot of draft capital last season. So for us to use those 2 picks on those 2 guys, I want to see a difference from year 1 to year 2. So I'm going to go with those guys. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Leon, man. Hell of a fucking question. I love that, bro. Shout out to Joe. Steady working out and becoming a QB1 for the Raiders would be perfect. Definitely. He won't command an insanely high contract, and all that cap space can transform this defense into something amazing. Simple mathematics, bro. Simple mathematics, Joe. Real shit, my brother. Shout out to my dog, Joe, on a donation. Couldn't have said it better, my brother. Look, you know what's funny? Plum Raider? I don't know why people would be mad that Tay is staying, right? You know what's so funny with some of these guys, that some of these content creators, and I'm not going to say any names because I don't need to. Look, y'all already know how I feel about certain individuals, right? Look, I came into the new year, clean slate. We all good. I'm good with everybody, right? But I have to say this. You're not a real Raider. You're not a real Raider, and you're pushing a terrible narrative if you're mad that Davante is returning without Derek Carr. That is fucking terrible. You are a terrible fucking content creator if you're pushing a narrative of, I can't believe he's coming back, or you know what I mean, or he won't return because of it. That is terrible, bro. Get your shit together. That is terrible. That is terrible. That means that you're not a fan of this team. You're a fan of a player, bro. That is terrible. Like, I don't understand. It seems like a lot of these guys have to have a narrative, right? And they just want to beat it. It's like, bro, you're wrong. Just admit you're wrong and move on. Ain't nothing wrong with that, right? I admit I'm wrong all the time. Like, just admit you're wrong. Admit you're wrong and move on. But it's corny, man. Some of these guys, they push this narrative and they put it up on this hill and they die on that hill. You don't have to die on that hill, brother. Just say, you know what, I was wrong, and keep it pushing. Shout to my brother, man. Shout to Wade. You know you have to do that, King. Tremont Emmons, like your life depended on it. That would be a hell of a fucking pickup, bro. Shout out to my brother Wasted, as always. That's facts. Me and Scout was just talking about that yesterday. Definitely. Let me see. Yeah, that shit is crazy, y'all. That shit is crazy. I don't understand that. That shit is fake to me. You know what I mean? It's really truly fake. I don't know how you can push these narratives. Just admit you're wrong. Just admit you're wrong. That's it. Just admit you're wrong. I'll keep pushing. Shout out to Junior, man. What do you think about Hobbs? Still has high hopes? Who knows? Look, I love Nate Hobbs. He needs to go back into the slot. This year, dealing with that, was it broken thumb, I believe. He had a cast on most of the season when he returned. At the end of the day, Nate Hobbs to me can be, and I said this when his rookie season, I said, I believe that he could be an all-pro nickel corner. I watched him at Illinois, you guys. He gave up big plays on the outside, but he also made big plays. It was kind of like a boom or bust kind of situation on the outside with him. And I always said that I think that he can just be that guy in the slot that could be that dude, be one of the best slot corners in the league. Put him back in the slot and go get two guys on the outside. I would love to bring back Oaklosvegas, have him be number two on the outside, and go get another corner, a true lockdown guy. You know what I'm saying? So, but we shall see. But I love Nate Hobbs. And I still believe in him like crazy. Yes, he had a bad season. He was hurt, you know what I'm saying? But there was no real talent around him. You know what I mean? Tyler Hall, to me, was like the best DB outside of Meek this season that was around Nate Hobbs. And let that sink in. Meek Robertson and Tyler Hall. That's tough. Shout out to my brother Wasted again. Wi-Fi be like John Gruden's conspiracy. Derek Carr, John Gruden with some Gruden on the side. You stupid, bro. You set me up, bro. You set me up right now. You set me up. You set me up. Yeah, man. You set me up. Hey, I told y'all, man, don't trust nobody that owns one Raiders shirt, man. I told y'all that. I said it from Jump Street. I said, don't trust anybody that only owns one Raiders shirt. You know what I mean? You know? That's a uniform for him. He just went to Burlington Coat Factory and bought it and just consistently rotates it. You know what I'm saying? Never trust anybody that owns one Raiders shirt, man. You stupid. You fucking stupid, bro. Yes. Keep hot. Shout out to my brother John, man. Another GOAT in the building. Yes. Keep him the fuck away from the outside. Real shit. Real shit. Shout out to my brother John. The Raiders are going to make, let me see. That's funny. The Raiders are going to make Adams beat his career record and have JJ lead the league in rushing to make Derek Carr look bad. Hey, man, that man made himself look bad. And now this guy apparently is too. The irony in that, right? It's funny. All our DBs need an exorcism. Shout out to Tools, man, my dog. He's stupid, bro. Yeah, these guys definitely shit the bed this season, man. It was tough. It was tough, man. But, next season we'll bounce back. Next season we'll bounce back. We just need more talent on the defensive side of the ball. That secondary, was beat up all season long. Nate Hobbs, Oaklosvegas, it was tough, man. This was just a tough all-around season, period, too. Really, really tough, man. Shout out to my dog, Junior. I was a Wi-Fi Willie fan, but ever since Carr, he's been so negative. I had to unsubscribe and come just here for the positive vibes. Raider Nation for life. Raiders! Shout out to my dog. And I would never be one of them people to tell anyone to unsubscribe to anybody, regardless of anything. I want to see all these guys succeed. You know what I'm saying? But, I get flack for so-called being negative sometimes too, Junior, because of how I feel about wanting to move on from our quarterback. But I'll say this, man. Shout out to him. Keep doing his thing over there. Shout out to these guys over there, these guys over there. You know what I mean? Respect. It is what it is. Shield more, man. Shield more, man. Shield more. Shout out to Junior. I appreciate you for being here, though, brother. Shout out to my dog. Cooking Nomad. I'm only bringing this up because you put up a donation, bro. You crazy, bro. Shout out to a Cooking Nomad. There ain't no fucking way, Classic. The Raptors were down by 21 with 3 minutes in the fourth quarter. Yo. Wow. That's crazy. Let me see. Daniel, it's because these guys be from Fresno, right? Like a lot of Fresno dudes rock with DC. He's like the hometown hero. You know what I'm saying? And I get that, but I'll tell you this. I'm from Sacramento. When Dante Stallworth fucked up and hit somebody in his car, I said he was stupid for that shit, right? When Ontario Smith was playing for the Minnesota Vikings and throwing up gang signs in the end zone, I said, come on, bro, you got to make the city look better than that, King. And I love Ontario Smith. But I was like, come on, bro, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to hold these guys accountable for what the fuck they do. You know what I'm saying? Like what's his name back in the day? Ray Caruth. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up with his family. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother used to watch him. You know what I mean? The shit he did, allegedly paying to get his baby mom shot. Like hold these motherfuckers accountable, bro. Like hold them accountable. I don't give a fuck if you're from my city. Like that shit don't really mean nothing to me. That shit don't mean nothing to me. Yeah, I love it. You from my city. We rep the same soil. Great. But right is right and wrong is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Like, you know what I mean? There's no player in this league right now that you shouldn't be able to hold accountable if they look terrible. I don't care who it is. I love Tim Brown. That is my favorite athlete of all time. Of all time. Nobody can ever tell me shit about Tim Brown. If he just magically came back to the Raiders and we put him on the outside and he shit the bed, guess what I'm going to be doing right here on this podcast week in and week out? I'm going to flame him. Because that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. It is what it is. I tell Fingers all the time, if he makes a beat I don't like, that shit ain't it. If I spit a verse and I'm in a booth and he says, bro, that shit was not it, I'll rewrite this shit. You know, but, you know, hey, man, not too many people have people around them that hold them accountable anymore. So it is what it is. Yes, Abs. Davante's press conference answered all the questions that we even had. He even said it goes out there to play for the Shield. This is facts, bro. Facts. Facts. Let me see. Okay, hey, no, I'm not saying everybody from Fresno. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody, bro. But you know what I mean, right? You get what I'm saying? I'm just saying some people, you know, they won't step away from that. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Let me see. Carr versus Hosteller. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button, man. We will flame anyone that doesn't help the Raiders win. Defense, special teams, offense, coaching, etc. All we want is a Super Bowl championship. Go Raiders. This is facts, bro. Facts. Shout out to my dog Primos, bro. Facts, man. Let me see. Wild Turkey. DA sounded like he wasn't happy with Carr's gameplay in that presser. This is, I mean, but bro, how could you? You know what I mean? Like, how could you? If you were, then I don't want those kind of friends. Don't be an enabler. You know what I'm saying? How can you act like he was being good? You know what I'm saying? Like, Davante ain't going to act like that. Like, yeah, that's his best friend. That's his brother. But if you're playing terrible, you're playing terrible. Simple and plain. Cloned, I am too, bro. This is the most excited that I have been about this team in a long time, man. Yes, this offseason with Davante and Chandler and all that good stuff, but I just feel like I've always been wanting to move on and find another quarterback, right? It's just, I feel like, you know, just so many years of just ups and downs. It just felt like this was the perfect time to move on for both parties. But this time, man, with all these guys in play, moving forward, right? Waller under contract for many moons. Hunter Renfrow under contract for many moons. Josh Jacobs about to get locked up. You know what I'm saying? Davante is locked up. Like, this is an exciting time to be a Raider fan, you guys. It is exciting. Yes, we missed the playoffs this season. It sucks. But we got a full draft to play with this offseason. We have a lot of cap space and free agency. There's going to be a lot of excitement around this team. A lot. And I am here for every second of it. I'm even thinking about going out there for the pretty much flag football Pro Bowl game, man, in Vegas. Man, I'm thinking about busting a move out there. You know what I mean? But I know I'm going to be in Vegas a lot with all these. There's going to be a lot of shit going on this offseason. I'm just excited, man. I'm excited, man. Shout out to Big John. In free agency, who would you rather go after? Deron Payne or Justin Simmons? I mean, look, in a perfect world, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want you talking about Jeffrey Simmons, right? Talking about Jeffrey Simmons, Big John? I'd have Jeffrey Simmons. That, to me, that's top 3 defensive tackle in the league. Love Deron Payne, but I'm going Jeffrey Simmons. And stay tuned, Big John, because I know a lot of people aren't going to like the situation because, you know, this is a Raiders channel. But one of those guys will be on the show soon. So stay tuned. One of those guys will be on the show very soon. Stay tuned. Shout out to Philip Wright. Appreciate you, brother, on the donation. Means a lot to me, King. Thank you so much. Shout out to Kyle once again. Kyle Height. What up, Docs? I'm excited to see what the future holds for the Raiders. Adams saying he is staying is an icing on the cake. Salute, my brother. Salute to you as well, King. Thank you very much, my brother. Real talk. Yeah, that's a lot of money to spend on the defensive tackle, you guys. Deron Payne and Jeffrey Simmons, they're both going to reset. They're going to reset the market. You know what I mean? They're going to reset the market. So that's going to be tough to put up, what, $30 million for a defensive tackle. So I think we're going to go get, one in the draft, maybe potentially two, and get a cheaper option in free agency. But in a perfect world, man, I think the Titans just pay Jeffrey Simmons. You know what I'm saying? They're probably going to pay him. You know what I mean? Because, after this year, they're not really going to have anybody else to pay. You know what I mean? I think they're going to probably try to reboot that thing over there in Tennessee because they shit the bed this season. Van City, all I'm going to say is, man, we're all going to come together as a unit on this screen and try and make that happen. Shout out to Van City. Your thoughts on Jackson Smith? You know what, man? I like him, Edgar, but there's no way in hell I'm going to get a receiver in the first round. And even with him, I like his game, but I'm not going to get the young pup out of Ohio State in the first round. There's no way. We don't need a receiver. We need a receiver, but we need a speedster that I think we can get in the later rounds. There's no reason you use that kind of draft capital. This is the time where you either get your quarterback of the future or you get a defensive stalwart, a building block for the future. You cannot, and I'm sorry, y'all. I feel like if you don't get this, I would rather have the defensive tackle, right? I'd rather have a star defensive tackle or a star corner or a star linebacker. If you don't get one of them, you go get your quarterback of the future. Because me personally, as a Raider fan, I'm thinking in my head, we're not going to be drafting this low again anytime soon. So you have to go get a defender that can be a building block moving forward. Or if Levis is on a board or one of these guys that Josh maybe is in love with behind the scenes that we don't know about, you have to pull the trigger. This is the year. If you got a top 10 pick, you go get a defender or you go get your QB. Receivers, no. Shout out to Edgar, man. Looking forward to seeing Josh get the rushing title. This is facts, G-Town. This is factory, my bro. Let him go out there and run the ball crazy against Kansas City Saturday night. Shout out to my brother G-Town. Shout out to Philip. What about taking Biaggi Robinson at 7? No. I like his game. For those who don't know, the young running back out of Texas, there's no way. No way in hell. I would rather run with Zeus next year if we didn't want to pay Josh Jacobs than draft Robinson that early. There's no way. No way. You already spent, a fourth rounder last year, I believe, on Zeus. And you guys, I keep saying this, Sincere McCormick will be coming off of the IR next year. And that is one of my favorite players in last year's draft. And we have him. We got him as a UDFA. I'm hoping that we bring him back next season. That's a sneaky back that we may have. You know what I mean? So stay tuned for that. But no, if we somehow, some way didn't pay Josh Jacobs, run with what you got. Go out there with Zeus. Go out there with Sincere McCormick. Shit. I mean, we drafted a back out of UCLA in the 7th round. Give him a shot. You know what I'm saying? We got a bunch of backs. So no, but there's in no world, my brother, am I using a draft pick that early on a running back. Let me see. Shout out to Doug. Draft best defender first round or QB of the future to be QB. There you go, Doug. Simple mathematics, my brother. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. That's it. Shout out to Vale. Gonzalez is nice. For those who don't know what OG Vale was talking about, the cornerback, I think it's Christian Gonzalez, right? I believe it's that. Yeah, out of Oregon. Like his game too. I like his game a lot. Me personally, and I keep saying this, I'm a Forbes fan. I'm a Manuel Forbes fan. I'm out of Mississippi State. That's my guy. But I also love Joey Porter and Cam Smith out of South Carolina as well. So there's a bunch of corners in this draft that I think can make some noise if you get one in the early rounds. I think you got to go get your corner in the first 2 rounds. Got to go get your corner in the first 2 rounds. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up if you're not subscribed to the channel yet. Hit that subscribe button, man. Yeah. Hey, Van City, I'm for it. Josh 1, Zeus 2, Sincere McCormick 3, Britton Brown 4. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Will Anderson will be off the board, Chris. He will be off the board. And me personally, I like Will Anderson. I think he's a little overrated. I do like him, though. Don't get me wrong. I like his game. But I don't think you go get an edge rusher in the first round when you still got Chandler Jones under contract and you just extended Max Crosby. We need some defensive help. We need some defensive line help on the interior of the defensive line. So if anything, Jalen Carter at 7, if he falls due to character issues or some weird shit, right? You go get him. I need a defensive tackle. Shout out to my dog, Demon King, my boy Jason Hunter, man. Love you, my brother. What you think about taking the best corner with that? I'm not against that. I'm not against that. And go Irish. There we go, baby. Got that bowl win. Like I said, Cam Smith, Joey Porter Jr., Emmanuel Forbes. I'm not against it. I'm not against it. If these guys fall in love with the corner in this draft in the first round, I'm not against it. Just make sure it's the best player on your board on the defensive side of the ball if it's not your quarterback of the future. Shout out to Hunter, man. My dog, 805, Ringo first pick. For those who don't know, the corner out of Georgia. If Stiddy beats KC, stick with him. And with the money saved, build the defense. Raider Nation unite. I know a lot of people like Ringo, 805. I'm not really sold on Ringo, man. You know, I like his game, but I just think that I don't think he's going to be that great at the next level. But hey, what do I know, man? Maybe he is. I don't know. And I agree with you. If Stiddy goes out there and dog walks KC, you have to give him a chance to win that QB1, unless they already have their eyes set on Tom Brady, then it's just not going to happen at all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. Shout out to my brother Brave Raider. My boy Rick is in the building. Shout out to King of King. Doc's brother, do you think it is possible to sign TB12? Yes, for 2 years. And in the next year, no. There's no way. If you go get Tom Brady, there's no way in hell you're drafting number 1 or 1 through 3 next season. There's no way. There's no way. So no, it's not going to happen. That won't happen at all. Shout out to .com, my dog, bro, Boot, Glenn, Fike. All he's saying is negative comments about the nation. Get this clown up out of here. Oh, I didn't even see him. You know what? I got to get some moderators in here, man. I really do got to get some moderators. Got you.com. If I see it, bro, he up out of here, man. Shout out to my boy M Raider, man. My boy Marcos in the building. Can I ask you? I like Tyree Wilson. I like Tyree Wilson a lot. That's Hammer's guy. That is Hammer's guy out of Texas Tech. Love his game, but me personally, like I said, Marcos, I don't want to get an edge rusher. You know what I'm saying, that early. He's the top 10 pick. He's a top 10 pick, at most top 15. So I don't want an edge rusher that early. You know what I mean? I want to address the interior of the defensive line, or I want to go get a corner or or a linebacker. But I don't think there's a linebacker that I would take that early. You know what I mean? I like Noah Sewell out of Oregon, but I wouldn't take him that early. So I'm taking like I said, a defensive tackle or a corner with our first pick. Shout out to my dog Raider Chris. Hey, Doc's, long time, brother. Going through it. Just get guys that love football, period. My brother, I agree with you. I feel these kids are chasing the bag instead of loving the game. Raider Nation for life. Shout out to my brother Wasted. I see you, bro. Appreciate you, King. Yeah, I don't see that guy. I just want to win, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just really all it is. I just want to win. I just want to win, man. I really don't care what it takes to do it. I just want to win. You know what I mean? That's it. Shout out to my dog, Raider Chris, my brother, man. Appreciate you, King. Hey, and if you guys want to become a member, hit the link. It's pinned up top. We're going to have a very, very active off season, you guys. Y'all know how we do. Y'all know how we do. We're going to be doing mock drafts, breaking down every prospect in the NFL draft coming up. We're going to break down every potential player that can come in free agency. We're going to have a ball this upcoming off season. So stay tuned. If you want to become a member, hit the link. It's pinned up top. Aren't we sponsored by Pacifico? Look, I'm sponsored by Woodson Whiskey. Woodson Whiskey. So if I'm drinking whiskey, that's what I'm on. Tonight, I'm going to be real with you. I got a little bit of tequila. But Woodson Whiskey, man. But I love Pacifico. Shout out to them. They definitely sponsored them and Corona. Both. I believe Corona too. No, Pacifico. I'm sorry. And Modelo sponsor our blackout event. So shout out to both of them. You know what I'm saying? But, me personally, I'm not personally, those aren't one of my sponsors at all. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, man. I appreciate you guys. Fly Guy. Look, this is what I'm looking at, right? I think we're about 30, 35 right now, right? Without DC's money off. So I'm looking at maybe 60 to 65 with DC's contract off the books. And then there's a lot of reworking some contracts. We can rework Max Crosby's contract and potentially save over $10 million. If we restructure him, we can restructure Colton Miller. We can restructure Andre James. There's so many different guys that we can restructure. You know what I'm saying? So we can free up a lot more money. So stay tuned. I'm telling you. Yes, Chris. We've been working on that around the clock, behind the scenes. This upcoming season, I promise you, me and Wasted will be dropping Planet Raiders. Shout out to my brothers Big Mike. Shout out to Cane Town. Shout out to my brother Raiders.scout. We got a nice team, and we're just building more and more. We're building more and more. So we're going to need a lot of people's help with this Planet Raiders. We are going to create the Bleacher Report of Raider Nation. So stay tuned for that, man. Everything Raider content-wise that you need, PlanetRaiders.com is everything's going to be there. So stay tuned for that, man. We're working on it, and I promise you guys, it's going to be well worth the wait. Let me see. And matter of fact, this week too, me, Wasted, and my brother Big Mike will be live doing basically a year-end season end, just going over the season, what happened, and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about that. Let me see. I don't think Josh McDaniels wants Brady. I think he wants to create his own legacy out of TB. Tom will get the credit for a turnaround. Who cares? I'm going to be real with you, Severe. Like, JMD is on his own now, right? He's on his own now. He's seen Tom Brady go win one without Bill Belichick. So I'm almost positive that Josh McDaniels wants to win one without Bill Belichick too, even if Tom Brady is in the fold. This man also wants a job. And if he thinks that Tom Brady can win him a Super Bowl, I don't really think he cares. His legacy depends on rings. His legacy depends on restoring the mantra, just win, baby, if he's going to be with the Raiders, right? Can we all agree on that, you guys? JMD's legacy with the Raiders relies heavily on restoring the mantra, the motto, just win, baby. So if it's Brady, if it's whoever, it shouldn't even matter. Just win, baby. I don't think he cares about that. I really don't. I truly don't. Dox, my brother, what players would you like to see our Raiders pick up in the offseason? We'll talk about that. I keep saying that to my brother. My apologies. I know you probably didn't see it, but we're definitely going to do some breakdowns of all free agents this offseason here in the new future. We got one more week of football, you guys. We got actually a few more days. And then we're going to start pinpointing all these players. But there's several guys that I'm looking at in free agency that I would love to bring in and help build our defense. Even a few offensive linemen. So I promise you, we're going to get to that King of Kings. Just stay tuned, my brother. Make sure you subscribed. We're definitely going to be breaking that shit down. Shout out to, hold on, shit. What the fuck did I just do? Shout out to Marcus. He says, what's good, Raider Content King? I think it's a very good shot as Brady. Even more so that he was almost a Raider a few years ago. Let's fucking go. Raider Nation Colorado chapter. Shout out to you and your chapter, my brother. Factory. Let me get these supers in real quick, y'all. We're going to get up out of here. Drop James, move Parham to center, upgrade at right tackle. I like Andre James, man. I thought he had a good year this season. I like Parham at guard. I don't want to move Parham at guard. I want to either left or right. I want Parham at guard. I know a lot of people have been screaming to see him at center. I'm not one of those guys. I want to see him stay at guard, and I would bring Andre James back. He's still an inexpensive option at center. He's not getting paid a lot of money. Look, if you can upgrade the position, great. But then you have to upgrade the guard positions. You know what I'm saying? So that's tough. I'm keeping him where he is. I think Parham is going to be a Pro Bowl, bare minimum talent, all pro ceiling guard in this league. But yeah, man, with that being said, man, hour in, you guys, just wanted to shoot this shit. Davante Adams ain't going anywhere. Anyone that tries to tell you else, they capping. Cappuccino. If anyone tries to tell you anything else about Davante Adams not being a Raider, not wanting to be here because our quarterback is moving on, I'm telling y'all now, it is Cappuccino. Love you guys. On the way out, wipe them feet. Hit them thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please hit that subscribe button. I love every single one of y'all, man. Oaklosvegas.com, you guys. Go get some drip. And if you want to become a member of the channel, hit the link. It's pinned up top. Love y'all. I'm outro 1.